Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some old crazy news for y'all. People are starting to say that Kim Porter might not be gone because the coroner report never came out officially. People don't know exactly how she passed. Now it's becoming a conspiracy, just like how they say Tupac in Cuba somewhere. They trying to say that Kim Porter is still alive. I don't believe it. I believe she gone. But it is kind of funny how Diddy's daughters came out with this clothing line right at the end of his trial. People saying that they mama working behind the scenes, giving them pointers on how to make money while she outside the country. Like I said, I don't believe that, but the way they going about their business, looking like they about to get sued because a young lady is claiming that the twin stole her clothing line away from her.
Hey guys, it's the Combs twins. I'm Jessie. And I'm Delilah. And today we have a very, very big and exciting announcement. We are launching our very own clothing line. Welcome to 1221. This line is more than just fashion. It's personal to us. Everyone always asks if we really think alike, and the answer is definitely. The connection we have is just beyond words, and that connection is the heart of our brand. 1221 is super meaningful to us because not only is it our birthday, but the numbers themselves also tell a story. The number 1 symbolizes boldness, leadership, and the start of something new. And the number 2 represents love, harmony, connection, and together, these numbers represent who we are. We created 1221 to reflect that energy, where comfort meets confidence. This brand is for everyone. Everyday pieces that look good, feel good, and mean something. This is 1221, a brand built on connections, made for the mirror, ready for the world. Peace!
Diddy's daughters, the Combs twins, copied my clothing brand. January 1st, 2024, I dropped my clothing brand 1221 Apparel, which I have an LLC and an Instagram page for. And yesterday, all of my friends kept sending me this video.
This is 1221.
As you can see in both our profile pictures, this is my logo and this is theirs. Just a little bit of background on myself and my clothing brand. I first learned how to sew when I was 8 years old. My grandma initially taught me. Then fast forward to 2023, I'd already been contemplating starting my own clothing brand for a couple years now. At the same time, I was also one of the lowest points in my life. I was stuck in a toxic relationship. The relationships with who I was closest with and my family and friends were going downhill. I had gotten fired from my job. I had totaled 2 cars in a span of 2 months. And just overall, everything seemed like it was going downhill in my life. At the same time where all this is happening, I started seeing the number 1221 everywhere. I was in class, I would look at the clock, it would say 1221. I would randomly pick up my phone, it would say 1221. I would see it on license plates, signs, literally everywhere. Till one night, I couldn't sleep, and I remembered that I had been meaning to look up this number to see what it meant. I looked up the number 1221, and it basically had answered everything I was questioning in life at the time. In short, it told me to not let my fears get in the way of my dreams, trust your intuition, doors would be opening for me, I just have to walk through them and trust myself. It was at that exact moment that I knew what I was going to name my clothing brand when I finally dropped it. The slogan for my brand is Design Your Destiny, because when you put on my clothes, I want you to feel like your best version of yourself. The same feeling you get after you just got your hair done, or guys when you just get a fresh cut. My brand 1221 Apparel, I specialize in making custom one-of-one pieces, high-end streetwear fashion for men and women. Since I've dropped my brand, I've now been in the Los Angeles Fashion Show, and I've been able to get my clothes on celebrities and big influencers. Everything that I make that you can see on my Instagram page, I make by hand from scratch. I source all my materials, fabrics, zippers, buttons, all out of Los Angeles. I'm making this video because it's so frustrating when you put actual blood, sweat, and tears into something you care so much about. And I feel like this happens to a lot of small Black-owned businesses where celebrities or big corporations will steal their ideas or steal their names. I've put my absolute all into trying to grow this brand. I also have a short film on my Instagram page that tells you a little bit more about my story and my background. So I just really wanted to make this video to spread the word, and if you support me and if you want to support the real 1221 Apparel, please go follow the Instagram. All I can say is you can expect huge things from me going forward, and this is just the beginning.
All right, so you guys just saw on her.
It's looking like everybody trying to get over on everybody. Diddy's daughters decided that they don't want to go to college. They rather sell hoodies, but it seemed like they robbing people like they some real outlaws. Beyonce should have never did that Cowboy Carter album. Now you got women out here acting like vigilantes. They ripping off each other businesses and things. As far as their mother still being alive, I know that ain't nothing but a rumor, but I wish they did have a parent that was free to be able to guide them through this stuff, because stealing and robbing from people is not the way. The young lady complaining about them should have got a copyright or something for her brand. These girls was born on 12/21. I don't know about that other girl she talking about. She had to touch herself and walk through some doors in order for things to start happening for her. Was she working for Diddy? Did Diddy put her in position for her clothing line and for him to get off at the same time? That's what it sounds like to me. And on top of all of that, Superhead in the news talking about she don't know if she topped off Diddy or not, even though she wrote it in her book that she gave Diddy fellatio.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think?
So not to my knowledge. No, I don't think anything right now. I just, not to my knowledge, because honestly.
That's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did or not.
Yeah, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Pierce, before I went through my text, again, I hadn't read Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it. It was painful to write. So I never wanted to re-traumatize myself and go through those years again. And think about this. I'm a middle-aged woman at this point. I don't want to go back into my 20s and see what happened. But in gathering information for this interview here, reading that passage again for the first time in 20 years, I questioned a lot of things, like, well, why was he so afraid? And why did he try to, make my boyfriend feel as if I wasn't trustworthy? And
do you think he took advantage of you when you were under the influence of alcohol and?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And
but you fear that's the case now from everything you've read?
Honestly, yes. Given the context, now that I know, because again, I never knew any of these things about him before. So the things that I learned in the trial, I did not know. I never saw that side of him. I did not know. I never understood. And again, in 2005, when I published Confessions, it says I didn't understand why he was so fearful of me, because our time together was pleasant. And I was like, wait, what is he so afraid of? What does he not want me to tell? I didn't see anything at that point. At that point, I hadn't seen anything. At that point, we had, I thought, just a friendly, platonic night together. So I was confused then. And 20 years later, I'm confused now. So to my knowledge, I've never had Frank Holmes. We never had that kind of relationship.
But you can't be sure.
Given what we know now, I can't be sure.
And how does that make you feel?
And that saddens me.
She know good and well that she got it in with Diddy. I don't know why she's sitting up there confusing everybody, because it ain't nothing to be confused about. She got blowed out in the 90s. It ain't a hip-hop superstar that didn't clap them cheeks. And so what if she let Diddy smash, write another book about it? What's she sitting up there lying for? It seemed like a lot of people doing a whole lot of lying. People lying, talking about Kim Porter still alive. People talking about Diddy's daughters is ripping off their clothing brand. And Gene Deal is catching hell. He done did 1 million interviews talking about Diddy as a grown man. People saying that he resentful, he spiteful, he acting like a female scorn. But still, Gene Deal got a right to tell his story. He was in them pictures. He was a part of the Bad Boy family. It is entertaining, obviously, because every time he do an interview or something, it get plenty of views. But now, since Diddy about to get off, people turning on Gene Deal.
I want to talk about the biggest hater in hip hop. If I didn't know any better, something's telling me that he's upset and in his feelings because Diddy didn't give him a lifetime pass to the Bad Boy brunches, one that he did have expired. This man has been dragging Diddy and bullying Diddy for decades. He's worse than a bitter ex who didn't get invited to the wedding. Seriously. He swear he was there to witness everything, but every story has a different remix depending on the podcast. If he got all this evidence, why didn't he go to the feds a long time ago? Why didn't he get subpoenaed into this trial? You got all this evidence, but you're on podcast, not in the courtroom testifying. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it seems like he's more mad that Diddy pays him dust and left him behind rather than these alleged crimes. Gene Deal, you're moving like a scorned ex side piece, just in a 6XL t-shirt. At this point, it's screaming, I want to be in the inner circle, but my security code has expired. I have no access. I can't tell y'all any new information. I can't pay my bills. And I'm just bitter and just miserable. And I don't get paid unless I speak on Diddy. You're screaming relevance. You're like the only grown that wake up on these apps speaking about another man and being upset that another man is going to be free. What are you gaining from this? It's disgusting at this point.
Want to come out. Gene Deal's Gene Deal sitting there going up in the trial. You was complicit. You was there the whole time. You was a bitch. You couldn't even say that you were supposed to bodyguard for. Gene Deal is a sucker, and y'all celebrated his sellout. I thought that snakes and snitches and punk was trying to save themselves in order to throw somebody else under the bus. I thought that we ostracized them type of people. Them type of people was never supposed to be in the community. You couldn't trust them. He the true definition of a snitch. You know why? Because he was in it. He was a complicit member. He participated. He protected him. The snitching, the opportunity to tell on somebody was for civilians. It wasn't for people that was complicit, but y'all keep giving this punk platform. Anti interview Gene Deal. Man, I'm not interviewing that. I seen y'all emails. I seen the emails of these people. Hey, you want to know what my price is to come on? Nope. Nope. I don't want to know nothing about you. Yeah, but it'll get you more views. It'll get a bag. Nope. Because I don't like you. I don't agree with you. And I don't actually rock with people that are bad for the community because you got bad energy. You got bad energy. I can spot these suckers a mile away. Gene Deal, Jaguar Wright. Those are y'all people. Them your heroes. That's your heroes. People that can't even feed themselves and their entire platforms is based off of trying to tear somebody else down. They can't create no other content except for talking negative about Diddy and other people.
All these dudes going on the internet with these salacious stories and stuff is what kind of landed him in that position, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to say this, if you allow me. I'm going to say this right here. Gene's a liar. He knows he's a liar. Let me tell you, and here's the proof that he's a liar. Don't you know that the feds, I'm gonna send it to you too. I got every witness they even thought about asking. He kept volunteering. They scratched his off. He's calling in. Can I please tell? No, you're not credible. You need more people. They kept dubbing his statements. They knew that he was single-handedly messed that case up. His civil suit, all that's the work of Gene Deal. I call him Gene Squill. Because let me tell you something. I never seen a man that want to put a man in jail that bad, dog. I would never. I don't care if I hate you, dog. I'm not putting you in jail. I'm gonna see you somewhere else. All that jail time, it's not cool to do that. And you ain't cool doing that, sir. Officer, you're not cool doing that. Right? You got a problem with that man, see that man. You don't try to put him in jail and try to ruin everything he built. You know that man ain't he said he did. Think about it. If you the feds, you try to bury Puff, you try to put him in jail. You got a guy who said he was a witness to all of this salacious and crazy stuff, right? He had first-hand account. He seen a check for $1 million in somebody's pocket. He seen this, he seen that. And you trying to tell me that the government would not call him? Everything he said, and then he goes, he's seen Biggie's contract and Puffy's briefcase. Well, Gene's never been in the music business, but you've been in the music business, and you know that, and anybody listening that's ever been in the music business, they know that a executive producer and manager do not walk around with said contract in their briefcase. It's in the attorney's office. When they want copies of it, they call their lawyer, can you pull up so and send this over to such? What the hell is Puffy gonna do what Biggie's production company did?
Even the same gang dudes, I spoke to the dude Mike and the dude Vic hit me. They like, Gene, there's not no founder, no same gang.
He was security for same gang. Let me tell you something. Then he said they jumped Puff in like it was a real gang. First of all, you know Puff is not. Let's start there. He might not be Mike Tyson on them hands, but you ain't smacking that. You ain't going to that. You ain't sunning them. You ain't doing nothing disrespectful to them without y'all shooting the fire. Period.
Man, I just don't know. Y'all gonna have to let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section. Gene Deal, you done too much. You don't had your fun, man. How long he think he gonna be able to do this? Talk about Diddy all day, every day. I do it. A lot of other people do it, but Gene Deal was actually friends with that man. I ain't never met Diddy. So whatever we got to say about it on YouTube, it's simply for entertainment. This man got a vendetta. He got a lot of hatred in his heart. Rest in peace to Kim Porter. I wish y'all to stop spreading them rumors. Just because they ain't got the autopsy out for the public to read it, don't mean they didn't do an autopsy. People want the coroner to come out and give the public personal details about what happened to Kim Porter. People said that funeral was staged. People say a whole lot of things. These celebrities don't be wanting to be celebrities no more. You got people claiming that Michael Jackson's still alive. He could easily put a mask over his face. He could wake up in the morning and pick a nose. They saying that Prince still alive. He ain't die on no elevator. Prince was too smart for that. He would have broke down that elevator or something. He wouldn't have passed away the way they said he passed away. I ain't never known Prince to be no junkie or nothing like that, but you never know what's going on in people's personal lives. But I feel like these famous people get sick of being famous. They just want to live a normal life. They ain't trying to be in the blogs. They ain't trying to be in the tabloids. But hey, you never know. I wish Kim Porter was still alive. Let me quit speaking on her because I know she no longer here. And I want to say a special prayer for Diddy kids, his family and friends and things, because I know it had to be hard sitting in that courtroom listening about how he was skeeting all over the place. He in the corner masturbating while them male escorts having sex with Cassie. His kids had to sit and listen through that thing. And seeing how Cassie got beat up in that elevator with that hoodie on, his daughter's got a whole lot of nerve trying to sell hoodies. And one of the hoodies got Cassie's face on it, allegedly. I just don't know what to say about it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button too. And one more thing before I go, subscribe to my channel if that's what you want.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want, but if that's not what you like,